Now, I want to start with, actually, hopefully this isn't too boring, but I want to read some of the actual bill, because people are saying all kinds of stuff. Like, people were trying to say the Biden crack pipe story was false, and it wasn't false. I might have to do a separate video on that, because people are just saying things are misinformation or lies. They're, before I get into this, for example, I was watching a YouTuber who said the Biden crack pipe. People talk about the Biden administration crack pipe distribution was false, because people said that $30 million was going into buying crack pipes. That's a straw man argument. Nobody said that. It was part of the program, though. You never denied that. Playing a lot of games. But here's the bill, and maybe I'll skip around, but I want to just say what is factually in it. Literally just went to the website and pulled it up. This is part of the bill, much longer than that. An act relating to the parental rights in education, requiring district school boards to adopt procedures that comport with certain provisions of law for notifying a student's parent of specific information. So it's just notification there. Requiring such procedures to reinforce the fundamental right of parents to make decisions regarding the upbringing and control of their children in a specified manner. I just want someone to stop me when it doesn't make sense. I mean, none of this is crazy. You take this and you blow it up on the news and they talk about it on The View, and you read the bill and you're like, well, wouldn't you want that as a parent? So it's just talking about rights. Prohibiting a parent from accessing certain records, providing construction, prohibiting a school district from adopting procedures or student support forms that prohibit school district personnel from notifying a parent about specified information that encourage or have the effect of encouraging a student to withhold from a parent such information. This is giving parents power. No wonder they're attacking it. These people are pro-authoritarian. Anything that takes power away from the government is their God. That's how they view it. So anything that takes power away from the government, they don't like. This all seems reasonable. So prohibiting a school district from adopting procedures or student support forms that prohibit school district personnel from notifying the parent about specified information, or that encourage or have the effect of encouraging a student to withhold from a parent such information. So you don't tell a kid, don't tell your mom this, whatever it is. That shouldn't happen at school. Prohibiting school district personnel from discouraging or prohibiting parental notification and involvement in critical decisions affecting a student's mental, emotional, or physical well-being. Providing construction, prohibiting a school district from encouraging classroom discussion about sexual orientation or gender identity in primary grade levels or in a specified manner, authorizing a parent to bring in action against the school district to obtain a declaratory judgment that a school district procedure or practice violates certain provisions of law, providing for the additional award of injunctive relief damages and reasonable attorney fees and court costs to certain parents, requiring certain training developed or provided by a school district to adhere. So I think that's the heart of what I want to talk about. That's just part of the bill. It's not everything. But is that unreasonable? I want to bring this up. So this person said, Peyton, explaining Don't Say Gay bill to our 10-year-old last night made me realize why our parents didn't always like us watching the news. Trust me, DeSantis, our perfect family is much less of an embarrassment than you. Reevaluate your life, don't say gay, and that stuff. What I would do if I were the governor of Florida proposing this is I would speak out and say, this is not, your family is perfect. As much as, I don't want to overuse this word, but this is what I feel. Because I love our country, I have nothing but love. That's a beautiful family. Nothing but love for that family. That this bill is not to diminish or to bring hurt or harm to that family at all. You're Americans. We love you as fellow citizens. Your family's beautiful. That's a great picture. It hurts me that I just read the excerpt of the bill. It hurts me that people read that excerpt and then they turn to this. How do you get this from reading that? It's not, the bill is not an attack. It's to give parents rights. Your family's beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful families. When we talk about school and education, nothing should be hidden from parents. We've seen stories out there where it's been alleged that a teacher is talking to a kid and they're like, you know what? It's just between us. To hell it is. That's not hate. That's saying, I'm a parent, I should be involved. And we have to understand that we all live different lives. I listen to hip hop. Some people might listen to rock or something else more. I listen to all genres, but some people might listen to country more or noise more. It's the same type of thing. That's what Mayor Pete had to say about it.
Dangerous legislation.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the reason is that it tells youth who are different or whose families are different that there's something wrong with them out of the gate. And I do think that contributes to the shocking levels of suicidal thoughts and suicide attempts among LGBTQ youth. You know, Chasten, my husband, pointed out that, you know, if our kids someday, some Monday morning come into class and you know, kids are sitting around, the teacher's got the morning circle talking about how everybody's weekends went, and one of them says, I had the best weekend with my dad's. Is a teacher supposed to say, no, we don't talk about that here? Yeah. You know, if it's at any age where it's appropriate to talk about, you know, a kid's mom and dad, then it should be appropriate to talk about a kid's mom or dad.
Is this dangerous legislation?
This is misinformation. The bill doesn't stop that. Why are you lying? That's misinformation. That's not true. The bill does not stop that discussion.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the reason is that it tells youth who are different or whose families are different that there's something wrong with them out of the gate. And I do think that contributes to the shocking levels.
That's not what it tells. What it tells, if there's a child in the classroom who's struggling with identity or, you know, things of that nature, the parents have to be involved. That's what it's saying. And there is no place for a teacher to lead a child down a certain path. That's not your role. It doesn't tell the child that they don't belong. It tells the child that your parent belongs on this journey. This is misinformation that is lying or ignorance. Let's not do this. We played games with the pandemic, life or death, for 2 years. Then all of a sudden, the Democratic establishment wants to come and say, let's lift these things. Played games with life or death for 2 years. Midterms are coming, and it's like, let's ease back. That's politics. We can't be playing life or death with this stuff. This is children. Of course your parent has to be involved. Why are we playing politics with children? Mayor Pete, if you came on this channel, I would ask you, point to me in the bill where it says that. And I'm not moving from the topic until you find it. I don't care if it takes 3 hours. I got the bill here. We'll read the whole damn bill together. That's why they don't want them on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan will stop his show and say, pull it up, and tell his producer, pull it up real quick. I want to verify this. That's why he's on with this propaganda garbage. He just says that, and the guy's like, oh, yeah. Tell me where it's in the bill, Mayor Pete. We can't play games with this stuff. Why are we playing politics with people's identity, with children's identity? They called it snitch. Well, this is just somebody on Twitter. Called it a new GOP snitch culture is spreading. I'm going to read the whole bill just to make sure I haven't read the whole bill. I've just read excerpts, but I haven't seen anything in there. So the expert I read addresses some of what he's talking about. He's saying this is a snitch culture, saying that a kid would have to say, "Mommy, a teacher did this," or somebody would have to, call a hotline. They literally have a hotline and say, "Hey, a teacher didn't allow me this information," or "My kid told me the teacher did this." I misuse this word sometimes. Snitch only applies when you are doing dirt with somebody else and then you flip. So if me and a certain person are doing dirt and then I get caught and then I start saying he was doing dirt too, that's snitching. If I'm a law-abiding citizen and I say, there's a lot of people coming in and out of this house here. I don't know if it's a drug spot or not, but they have guns and it's crazy. Can the police come over and look? I feel scared. I'm dangerous. That's not snitching. So let's stop with the nonsense. That's not what's happening. Don't let anybody tell you that. What can we do? Spread the word. That's not true. Or maybe I always leave room to be wrong. If you disagree, point to me where in the bill it does that. The bill's online. I have the bill. I'll send it to you. Just highlight where you think it does that. Not an article, a quote from the actual bill. For some reason, that bill wasn't that hard to read. Some of the congressional bills are so difficult to get through. I'm going to end with this. Our good friend of show, or maybe not, Ibram X. Kendi of critical race theory fame says, imagine a bill barring your school from discussing you, a bill seeking to make an aspect of you invisible when you're struggling to see and be your full self and learn your full self in your world. These bills of bigotry are toxic to developing children. Where is it in the bill? Quote it. You got a PhD? Quote it. Give me some facts. The energy that the Democrat Party has is very weird to me. Well, I understand why, but when you look at it, they've got energy about this. And this again goes to the spoils and riches and the greatness of America, that we're so great that we can worry about this. Because when times are tough and you can't find food to eat, you're not worried about a bill like this. A bill like this wouldn't even be needed during those times. Let's take a trip to Baltimore and find out how the education system's going on over there.
Out of these students, 484 of them, or 77%, tested at an elementary school reading level. That includes 71 high school students who are reading at a kindergarten level and 88 students at a first grade level. That is shocking. It is shocking that 77% of the students in this high school are reading at an elementary school level. This is why we need to defund the public schools. People always say to me when I say defunding the public schools, they're like, Carlin, what are we going to do? Do you think that it could get much worse than this? There was a time when people actually cared about students learning how to read and write. There was a time in our country, and frankly in the world, when we were able to teach people how to read and write without the help of the goddamn schools. If this is the result that the schools are producing, then why are we funding them in the first place? To the tune of tens of thousands of dollars per student, and you can't teach them to read. You aren't teaching them to read. Nuritu says, this is how they make someone a slave to the system. That is exactly right. That is exactly right.
So we can't teach children to read in Baltimore. These are high school seniors who are at the reading level of my 5-year-old son. maybe below high school seniors in a major city, Baltimore, Democrat run. And Ibram X. Kendi is putting his energy towards teaching those children critical theory and arguing about a bill in Florida. Messing around with this Democrat Party is going to lead down some very dark paths for anyone who follows. I am done with the Democrat Party, even more than I've ever been. And I'm focusing just on them now. The GOP is part of them, but they are irrelevant. So I will keep bringing them up from time to time just because, if you just watch a video, you think I'm knocking the Democrat Party, but I love the GOP. It's time for those who are thinking critically. If you think it's asinine to be focusing on the Florida bill, labeling it something that it isn't, if you think that's more important than taking a look at Baltimore and wondering what the hell is going on, where you've got 7-year-olds who can't read better than a 5-year-old, then you need to leave that party. I think we're going to see a lot of defects. Let me know what you think.